We quite often hear the statement made by misinformed individuals on the mundane sphere of life that it is impossible for the higher teachers to penetrate the denser forms of matter. There is no matter too dense for any great teacher to penetrate. The only dense form of matter which the master's lesson or instructions do not penetrate is men's thinking. This is stated in love and not in any measure of destructive criticism. It is only when man rejects the light of truth, for there is no greater blindness than the blindness of one who will not see. Why does the White Brotherhood have so many subordinate teachers? All must grow, and it is for that reason some of the instructions are passed on to the more recently arrived souls from the earth plane, who have expressed a desire to become teachers, to guide others of the earth plane, loved ones they have left behind, to help them understand the true light of God. Thus they too may enjoy the opportunity of soul growth, and in this manner prepare themselves while they are in the astral embodiment, waiting for their return to the earth and mundane life, where they will again tenant a physical body. Many of these teachers, through their soul's desire for greater illumination, long to have the experience of direct contact with the spiritual realms, the inner life. They were collaborators with the White Brotherhood. This can only come about when they have given recognition to the vast spiritual teachings of the council members of ancient age. Through the recognition of the eternal truths and light of these teachings, these subordinate teachers progressed in their wisdom and involvement and eventually attained mastership in their own right. When the members of the ancient mystical White Brotherhood dwelt among men of earth in a physical body, it was their desire to teach man of earth of his true relationship to and with God, which is spiritual. When a member found at the time of his leaving the body, after his transition, that his work was still unaccomplished, he or she continued on the inner planes of life until they had some avenue to accomplish this unfinished business. They would work from the unseen side of life through the process of inspiration, directed to a dedicated, open-minded soul free of selfish motives, a willing, physical collaborator who could reach and influence those who needed help. It has been erroneously said that this opening of oneself to be used as a channel could lead to obsession by some astral, earthbound soul. He who is dedicated to God, spiritual and pure in consciousness, with unselfish motives in his thinking, has nothing to fear of any obsession. The Brotherhood will not stand idly by and see this happen. There is nothing to fear of the discarnate soul. It is the soul still incarnate in the flesh that needs to be guarded against. Like attracts like. The magnet of love attracts love. The forces of hatred and contempt attract destruction in a human being by focusing his attention to it consciously or unconsciously. According to their desires and their free will, it will be done. These great masters and sages of old recognized man's every good deed, kindly act, and loving word here in the material world. This is particularly true of those who have accepted the beneficence of the illumined, the appointed and anointed masters, and their teachings of the principles of life. The time has come for seekers of the truth of being to step out of the swaddling clothes of old, worn-out concepts and theologies full of fear and superstitions, which have held them in bondage of fear of the eternal. Man must know that he is free in the fullness of God, and is given free will to choose the path in which he wishes to gather the results of accumulated experiences needed to gain wisdom. He must also ever be mindful that in this freedom he is always fully responsible for his choice to himself, his fellow man, as well as to the Creator, and that no one has the the right to deny or destroy another's right to that same freedom. Injustice in any capacity is no man's right. One of the first steps in soul growth is the disciplining of the emotional nature of man. Disciplining means learning by the applications of truths learned through meditation, prayers, doing, living, controlling your actions and reactions. These lead to the purification of not only the physical centers of the body, but the etheric centers. Man is full of many complexes, attitudes, and desires based on intellectual reasoning. By continuing his dedication, he is led until the purification of the sinners is accomplished, and they are as lighted candles on the altar of God. Many of these souls are quite frequently unnoticed among men of earth. They could be friends, co-workers, neighbors, or loved ones close by who are being prepared for some greater service in the Father's house. We have heard the term crashing or storming the gates of heaven. There is no climbing over the wall or crashing of the gate, for the gate opens only to him who has gone through the purification and dedication of his life, having walked the path of service and love. Intellectual knowledge, wishes, and desires alone will not do it. The spiral of love and service is an ascending spiral, ever penetrating level after level with both the inner and outer awareness of the all-pervading essence of pure being. In modern understanding, the passing through the gate is a breakthrough in consciousness, the initiation to higher levels of intelligence and spiritual perception. There is only one ascension, and that is the ascension in consciousness. When the soul comprehends the true purposes of life, the controlling principles, the divine plan of unfoldment, it is illumined or Christed. The God mind has taken full control, and as Paul said, "Let that mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus." Thus man becomes a member of the great white brotherhood, with an opportunity for higher growth under the Melchizedek order. He is not aware of his union with God, his true selfhood in the white light of God, a radiant sun, and as a son, he is now, he is now aware of his union with God, his true selfhood in the white light of God, a radiant sun, and as a son, he is submerged in the pure presence of the great oversoul of life, which we call God. Man never ceases to serve. He shall use the creative laws of the universe to still troubled waters, to enlighten confused thinking, heal the discomfort of broken bodies, remove obstacles to spiritual growth. He shall use these laws lovingly and constructively always. Never, never does he use them to retard anyone for selfish reasons or gain, never for power, position, or reward, and at all times gives man the opportunity to redeem himself for his erroneous actions. There are isolated instances when it becomes necessary for members of the council, the great initiates, to return to the earth plane of life and assume a body of flesh to complete special divine assignments left undone by others, quite frequently that of a collaborator of the Brotherhood. They do this when it is of a vital matter. For eons of time, many master teachers have been known to make unprecedented appearances. Often they arrive in unexpected places unannounced and depart in the same manner. The body which a member uses frequently bears the resemblance of the last personality which the member used while on the earth plane. The body is not always of the dense physical form, but rather an etheric body, having the semblance of an earthly body. The body may appear at will and can be shed at will. It can seemingly disappear from human sight, only to make a reappearance when it is needed.